Namaskar. This week we're going to discuss half chair pose. Some of you call it Ardhautkatasana. Now, this particular pose can be done a number of ways. We're bringing a chair in. You could use your kitchen counter. If you're a yoga teacher, you could have your students, especially any private students in their homes, doing this posture using the kitchen counter. You could use a wall, so you could extend out to the wall, flat palm it, right up against the wall. But we're going to use a chair today. The chair I've found over the years to be quite a prop because you can use it for almost anything. And different types of chairs for different things. The open back chairs you might notice in Iyengar style are used for specifically a number of things, and one of them is to get your feet and legs through them, through the open back. In this case, just got a regular office chair because this is one, say for example, you were sitting in the office for a while, been sitting down and your back is compressing and you need to get a break. You need some kind of a chair. This might not be the type of chair you work off when you're working on your computer. But I'm going to ask Yang to position himself. He knows the drill on this one pretty well. And what he's going to do is he's going to fold at the waist. Yep, he's going as straight as he can. Good. And then when he starts to feel like he's parallel, which is almost, yep, there, go ahead and extend your arms out. So he extends his arms out and he's got it. Okay. Everyone's back is a little bit different on this one. We're trying to get, and this depends on the way the spine is made, the flattest possible line. Okay. Now there's a couple of variations here. One is the leg straight variation. Okay. One, do not lock. Do not lock joints in anything, in any sport, any activity. I don't care what a coach told you or anyone else told you. Locking joints is not advised at all, and it shouldn't be advised at anything in yoga. I see sometimes people advise other people to do, for example, Warrior 3 on a locked leg. Why would you? All your weight and everything locked up on that knee. Okay, so what we're going to do next is I'm going to ask Yang to show another variation. This is with the bent knee. And now, as you're doing this, imagine your head being drawn forward. So someone's drawing you forward and someone's drawing you back at the same time. Okay? So they're drawing you back by your hips back. So it's almost like this tug of war. And you don't want to tilt your head up and you don't want to tilt your head down. Now for those of you who are yoga teachers, my suggestion would be for this one, for the most part, to cue people and see what they can get out of it. For example, I don't adjust Yang's neck, but I could say bring your gaze down a little bit more. Okay? So that, and a little bit more. Yep. Okay. So there's just a little bit so we could keep the spine and the neck in alignment. And then from here, again, there's not a whole lot. I can push on him all I want. I'm not going to create a new spine for Yang. Okay? I can start pulling him all I want this way, but that's not going to help him either. What I need him to do is to just decompress his spine. And this is eventually going to open up for different people, and not everyone's in the same boat as far as the way the skeleton is made. Okay, this is good enough for today. So this was the second active back extension we were talking about. Obviously, forward fold is another variation of active back extension. This particular one is good for anybody. Before I had mentioned when we were talking about half dog, that in half dog there is an angle going on where the head's below the heart and we might have a blood pressure concern. In this one, we don't have a blood pressure concern because everything is level. And the other thing to bring up is when you're working with students, keep in mind that You may feel like you're creating a sculpture, but this is not a cookie cutter operation as far as making students fit into a specific mold of our desire. So I don't need to tug on him, push on him, pull on him. And they're not just specifically talking about Yang or any other student, all of them. They're all unique, they all have unique skeletons. And if we're unsure or we just don't know, then it's time to do some research. And one of the ways of doing research would be to find out a little bit more about anatomy and to learn a little bit more about how yoga applies. With that in mind, I'd like to wish all of you farewell and have a nice week. Om Shanti.